Welcome to this live stream. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. Alonso Ball is here. Oh my God, I'm teary. I'm teary right now. I could actually cry. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the football. But before we start, let me just get my setup ready. I've got screen here with me so I can monitor the comment here. I can monitor the comment here. So I'll just join the live stream with the other account. Let me make sure that the volume here is mute so I don't interfere with the video. So yeah, I watched the match right from the beginning till the very end, and I have some things that I saved from the match, like the moment from the match from beginning to the very end. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dissect Fulham versus Chelsea. I'm going to talk from my head overall before I begin to look at my reference materials. And if you're joining this live stream or if you're watching this video, don't forget to, you can drop a comment for me. I'm monitoring all the comments and I will definitely react to the comment, right? So Chelsea 2, Fulham 3 at Craven Cottage. As you all know, Chelsea and Fulham, they are London rivals. In fact, they are close rivals. In fact, Chelsea's home stadium is on Fulham Road. Fulham was using Stamford Bridge in the 1890s before they founded Chelsea, and then they had to give Chelsea Stamford Bridge, and then Fulham had to go to another place. I found out this when I visited the Stamford Bridge for a tour about 2 years ago. But then let's go straight to the match. First things first, immediately the match started, 30 seconds into the match, Joao Pedro scored a wonderful goal. Cool, calm, composed. The pass came through from Cole Palmer and Joao Pedro slotted it home to give Chelsea the lead at 30 seconds. That's probably going to go down as probably the earliest goal, the fastest goal in the Premier League this season. And Chelsea were up to a flying start. And if you ask me, that's how you should start a season. Get the goals coming. However, the game started to take turn very early because I think Oscar Bob or someone applied pressure on Levi Kowi, and as early as 9 minutes or something like that, Levi Kowi picked up a yellow card. That is a very early yellow card to pick up for a centre back. But going forward again, Chelsea began to press and Morgan Rogers got his first shot on target around 8 minutes. So Chelsea were still in the game properly and Chelsea were still balling. And before you know, around 11 minutes, before it was 12 minutes, Romeo Lavia picked up a yellow card, which makes it second yellow card for Chelsea within the space of 12 minutes. That's a big disciplinary issue on Chelsea because in the time past, we've been talking about Chelsea not being disciplined enough, this and that, and we're starting a new season. And under 12 minutes, even though we were leading, under 12 minutes, we got 2 yellow cards already. And I found that quite scary, quite, sorry, I'm too passionate. I found that quite scary because I didn't know where the game was going to. But then, what happened to Sanchez? If Chelsea has something important to win, especially something important to do in the league this season, they need to find a solution to Sanchez, maybe find a better goalkeeper coach for him, or maybe change him or something. I don't know, but something has to happen. Akiapong made an easy back pass to Sanchez for Chelsea to retain possession and then restart. And Sanchez actually chased the ball. That it was a good pass. He chased it to the corner. What would have happened if Fulham has scored the first goal from that corner, from that carelessness? I bet Sanchez would have blamed himself. As the match was still progressing, as if that was not enough, Sanchez then eventually, I can get people joining the live stream now. Thank you if you're watching Up Chelsea. I'm so excited because Chelsea are off to a flying start. So yeah, and before you know, Sanchez started the whole thing, and Joshua King got an equalizer. It's like Josh King. And it wasn't an outstanding goal or extraordinary goal. It wasn't a screamer. It wasn't a rocket. It was just a normal goal that every good goalkeeper, not even good, an average goalkeeper, even a goalkeeper playing on a Sunday league would save that goal. And guess what? The ball came straight right at Robert Sanchez where he was. And somehow, Sanchez allowed the ball to go into the net, which I found very, very, very exasperating. I found it very, very annoying. I was fuming because what kind of goal is that? You don't want to see Raya or even Donnarumma. You don't want to see serious goalkeepers conceding those kind of goals. And even the commentator agreed with me, even though commentators can be a bit biased, but that goal that Sanchez considered, it was it was not. I feel really, because if you put me in between the sticks, actually as a goalkeeper, the ball was coming right straight at him. All you have to do is just do your job, save the goal, and we continue from there. So, as much as we play and we are attacking, our goalkeeper crisis need to be solved. Otherwise, we will be leaking and we will be ruining great performances by conceding useless goals. Um, I bet to differ in a way. Xabi Alonso is not really a defensive coach, but then he, because if you watch Bayern Leverkusen, they had moments where they struggled, they scored a lot of goals, considered a lot of goals. Some of their winners came at the last 9 minutes. But one good thing about, even at Real Madrid, but one good thing about Alonso's team is their motivation is always high. They don't give up until the final whistle goes. So Chelsea might be considering a lot of goals this season on the part of Alonso, but Robert Sanchez has a huge role to play. So after Levia get the yellow card, then the Sanchez issue started. But have you noticed that Lacroix was really, really solid? Forget about the scoreline that Chelsea considered 2 goals. Lacroix is actually a very, very solid defender. And I think Akiapong was not bad as well. The only weak point today was Levi Kowi. Levi Kowi is one of our best centre backs, but then he didn't really have a great day in office, which happens, of course, in football. And I think that early yellow card affected him, but later on he settled into the game. If you are watching, if you agree with anything I'm saying, let me know in the comment section. I'm still in the business of communicating and interacting with you. If you agree with it, fine, you can let me know. If you also disagree with it, fine, you can let me know. I'm monitoring comments. I have a screen dedicated specially for comments. Yeah. So I think the early yellow card affected Levi Kowi's performance, but Akepong was good. Lacroix was solid. And because by 35 minutes, he narrowly missed the second yellow card. He already put his body in the way. There was no need for him to use his hand again. He was very lucky to get away with the second yellow card, and it could have been disastrous for Chelsea because we would be playing with 10 man instead of 11, and you know what that can do in football. And just when we were talking about Sanchez again, he parries the ball and he couldn't even push it far. Like there is no power in his hands, or like he does not have strong hands. I don't understand. And he pushes the ball into the path of Gonzalo Garcia, who slots the ball home. And that, for me, 3 errors on the part of Robert Sanchez on the first game of the season. It shows where we are as a club and where we are defensively. You can have Levi Kowi doing all the defensive duties. You can have Lacroix. In fact, you can import Saliba and Gabriel from Arsenal. You can import Gay from Man City and everywhere. If you still have a goalkeeper that is very, very prone to error in between the sticks, it might be a big issue. Thank you if you're still watching. I can see some people online. Let's have some interactive session. You can drop comments for me. I'm in the business of responding to comments. Hope I didn't disable the comments. Yeah. So let me know what you think about the match. So it was again Sanchez inefficiency that led to the second goal scored by Fulham. Because if you have to punch the ball, come on, watch Buffon, watch some top-notch goalkeepers. You have to put some power there. He parried the ball less than 10 yards away, 5 yards away, which for me it's not good enough. But anyway, let's talk about the substitution. Pep Chavaria coming on for Jore Ato, Enzo coming on for Levia around 65 minutes. I feel like Enzo's body, soul, and spirit is no longer in Chelsea. Enzo is one of my favorite players. In fact, he's one of our key players, but you can't get the best out of him in the middle of a transfer saga like this. It's a different thing if Enzo wants to leave and then he's handed a transfer request and then they are doing this. But when there is a deadline and we don't know if they are matching his order, we don't know if he's staying, if he's leaving, you can't expect him to be in the best of form. So I didn't see the best of Enzo today, even though he played only 35 minutes. But then I still did not see his best. So if Enzo is staying at Chelsea, let him stay at Chelsea. If he's going, let him go. We can't afford to be fielding unhappy player. We can't afford to have an unhappy player in the dressing room. It's like a cancer. It's going to spread around the team. We don't want that kind of energy. I'm not saying this to badmouth Enzo. I love him. If he wants to stay at Chelsea, I am more than happy to, to watch him. I really love Enzo. You can't take away his input. But if he's leaving, then he should leave. If you're watching this video, let me know what you think about Enzo Fernandez issues and should he have played at all. Then again, back on discipline matters. Rhys James also picked the third yellow in one game. Chelsea picked 3 yellow cards. The issue of disciplinary, concerns has been ongoing for like 3-4 seasons now, where Chelsea picks up useless yellow card here and there. Luckily we didn't get a red card today. Liverpool could have gotten one and it would have marred the game. It would have ruined the game for Chelsea. So what's up with Chelsea's disciplinary issues? Let's not be carried away with the fact that Chelsea won 3-2 is our first game of the season. Alonso did well. Alonso is an attacking coach. We enjoyed the football we played. We saw the best of Cole Palmer again. We saw Morgan Rogers. We saw Joao Pedro. I'm still coming back to that. But let's not forget that these disciplinary issues, we need to address it. That's the elephant in the room. I'm very sure if Moise Caicedo was on the pitch today, because he didn't play, according to report, he's injured. If Moise Caicedo was on the pitch today, he would have probably picked up a yellow card as well. So that's that on the part of disciplinary issues with Chelsea. If you're still watching this video, let me know your thoughts, your opinion concerning the Chelsea match. I've got a screen specially dedicated to replying to comments. Yeah. So let's talk about Morgan Rogers. Let me give you a quick breakdown of the midfielders that changed club in the Premier League this season. Sandro Tonali went to Tottenham. We all saw his first game. Yeah, I know it's too early, but then it is what it is. It's football. The first impression lasts long as well. We need you to hit the ground and running. We don't want a player who is going to start struggling, who needs many seasons to adapt, like Florian Wirtz of Liverpool. So if you look at Sandro Tonali, he played for Tottenham, match rating about 6.7. I might be wrong. Zoli's tried for Arsenal, got an assist, he got involved in 2 goals indirectly. And you know what? He got about 7.5 rating. Elliot Anderson was around 6.7. And which other midfielder joined the English clubs? But among all the midfielders that changed club this summer, Morgan Rogers actually came out top with 8.4 rating. Chelsea fans, are you happy? I know that rival fans will not be happy about this. It sounds like an agenda to them, but for a midfielder getting his first Premier League goal for the new club, he's not new to Premier League, but he's new to Chelsea. So getting his debut goal for Chelsea in the Premier League is wonderful, is amazing. And the partnership of Morgan Rogers and Cole Palmer is just so beautiful to watch. It's just so beautiful to watch. Um, I would not forget the input of Joao Pedro. He gave us the first goal. He assisted another goal. And that brings me to one question. We need to investigate Don Carlo Ancelotti. We need to investigate why he decided to leave Joao Pedro at home for the World Cup. If you are watching this video, you've probably thought of this, you've probably come across this, that's probably crossed your mind that we all saw what Brazil did in the World Cup. I'm not saying Joao Pedro will make Brazil win the World Cup, but that was Brazil's most prolific goal scorer in recent time. And Ancelotti, for the reason best known to him in this world that he can't explain to anybody, he decided to leave Joao Pedro at home. He went for Igor Thiago, which is understandable, about 23 goals in the Premier League, we understand. But why choose Hendrick over Joao Pedro? When Joao Pedro is someone who can play on the right, can play on the left, can play in the 10, behind the striker, he can play as a center forward, he can play as a false nine. He gives Brazil all of those options. But what do I know? Ancelotti decided to leave him. And you can see Joao Pedro and his impact on the field. And when he got the number 9 jersey, when he left the 20, yeah, he was wearing 20. And then when he picked up the number 9, we were actually very scared because of the number 9 issues with number 9 jersey in Chelsea. I for one, I was also worried because that jersey number actually carries a weight, and a lot of players struggle at Chelsea when they wear number 9. But you could see Joao Pedro still being himself, still making the run, still getting the goal, still getting his assist. Oh my goodness, his assist for Cole Palmer was beautiful and very, very intelligent. So this is what happened. He was in his own box. He was not beyond the halfway line, and you all know the rules of offside. If you are still halfway line in your box, there is no offside. But the defender thought he has kept him offside. So he got the ball and then he dragged the defender to the edge of the box, and Cole Palmer came from behind and ran into space for him. And then he played Cole Palmer through, and Cole Palmer just finished the ball brilliantly. If you ask me, that was a very, very humiliating finishing. And they were all waiting for the flag to go up. But guess what? The flag never went up. The flag never went up. So a player like Joao Pedro wearing that number 9 shirt and still doing the job and still delivering is a player that does not feel pressure. It's just a proper Brazilian, the jogger bonito with flair, playing so much with happiness, and he's not even bothered if he's carrying a heavy shirt number or not. He's just doing his job. And in my FPL, I have Joao Pedro on my team. So he brought me a goal and assist, which is beautiful for me and beautiful for other 13, 14, 15 million FPL players. If you're watching this video and you play Fantasy Premier League, let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you have Joao Pedro on your team. If you don't have Joao Pedro on your team, I don't care if you're a Man United fan or a Man City fan or a Fulham fan or a Newcastle fan or an Arsenal fan, go get Joao Pedro on your FPL team because he's going to deliver. Pressure does not get to him. Sorry. Pressure does not get to him. Pardon me, I need to drink water. That's what happens when Chelsea delivers a beautiful win for you. You drink water, you're happy, you're online, you're chatting, everything is going well. So if you don't have Joao Pedro, get him on your team. And Cole Palmer is back to himself. He's back to best of form. And If he stays fit throughout this season, Premier League will suffer. I don't know if that word is acceptable on YouTube Live. Premier League, we feel it. But I want him to really stay fit. That's the problem because he already picked up a knock. He wanted to be subbed. He signaled to the coach to give him 2 more minutes. And then within that 2 more minutes, he got a rough tackle again with a malicious intent from that player that should be carded. And then he had to be subbed out for Estival. Anyway, if he didn't get injured, he was still going to be subbed out for Estival because Estival needed to come on. Because if you check Chelsea's team, Estival is like Cole Palmer's direct backup. And then Morgan Rogers came off, and then we got Coenda. Yeah. Is this Sporting Lisbon? We got him from Portuguese League. I usually mix up Sporting Lisbon and obviously not Benfica. I think it's Sporting Lisbon. And then Coenda came on. So hopefully Cole Palmer's injury is not serious because he already picked up a knock. If we are going to go far this season, Chelsea as a team, we need all of these players in their best of form. We need Joao Pedro, we need Cole Palmer, we need Morgan Rogers, we need all their backup, we need their squad depth because when these players get tired or when they get injured, the backup needs to come up and do the job. I want to come back again to Robert Sanchez. League games can be very long, and every 3 points that you can pick up matters. Every save matters. You don't want to concede goals carelessly. 2 of those goals can be attributed to Robert Sanchez's fault. The first goal is majorly Sanchez's fault. If you're just joining this live stream or you're just watching this video at this point, I would save that goal. Even you, if they wear you a goalkeeper kit, you will save that goal because he was standing there and that Josh King's ball came through right exactly where he was standing. And it's very, very appalling. I found it very, very disgusting that somehow he allowed the ball to go in. And that drew us level at 1-1. Then the second ball, if you're going to push a ball, come on, we all watch football. Punch it hard. That's why they say strong hands of Gigi Buffon, strong hands of Manuel Neuer, strong hands of Donnarumma, strong hands of Peter Cech. All of those keepers, you need to have a strong hand. If you're going to push it far. If you're going to push it away, push it away. Don't push a ball just about 5 yards away. And guess who was standing 5 yards away? Gonzalo Garcia. This hungry striker that left Real Madrid that followed Alvaro Arbeloa to Fulham. I watched Gonzalo Garcia. If he had more playing time at Real Madrid, he would be fantastic. If you remember vividly at the Club World Cup, the one Chelsea won, of course, Kylian Mbappe was injured and this guy was actually scoring for Real Madrid. And even in the league, he scored about 6 goals or thereabouts for Real Madrid. But you know that when Mbappe became fit, Mbappe was never coming up because he was chasing the goal scores, the record, and all of that. So Gonzalo Garcia is actually a player that will be very, very useful for Belua and is a very, very dangerous player. So you can't push a ball carelessly 5 yards away to somebody like that. And guess what? It was just like a tap in. That was the easiest of the easiest goals you will ever see this season. And that brought us to 3-2. And guess what? Fulham began to mount pressure. Reece James went on to pick a third yellow card. I've talked about disciplinary issues, especially if you're just joining. And you know, if the game continue, anything can happen. Late equalizer, late drama. This is football, you know. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So Chelsea has to be careful. If you are still watching, or please drop a comment and then I would attend to it. Let me know if you're a Chelsea fan as well or Blues. So Chelsea needs to work on the goalkeepers department. You can have the best of the best lineup of defenders. But when they pass a straight shot to you and you let it go in between your hands or in between your gloves and in between your legs, Then what are you trying to tell us? You concede the goal, of course, and that was what happened with Robert Sanchez. Let me make reference to Arsenal. When Arsenal had Ramsdale, Ramsdale was a good goalkeeper. He wasn't bad, but they knew they would not get to their destination with Ramsdale. Yeah, Ramsdale. Then they went for David Raya. I don't hate Sanchez. I don't dislike Sanchez, although it can be very annoying. He's had his brilliant moment. But if we really want to go far, I keep repeating it. Something has to be done about Sanchez. If you can't replace him, probably replace the goalkeeper's coach, because I we don't know what they are doing in that department. And every time he makes this error, he feels like his shirt is not affected, his position is not threatened as number one. Look at Manchester City. They had two solid goalkeepers. They had Donnarumma and they had James Trafford. Every time James Trafford came on, he always delivered. He became a threat to Donnarumma, but there was just no way he was going to take Donnarumma's shirt. And that's what competition brings. It makes one better. It makes both of them better. So Trafford could no longer endure being number two. Then he had to go to, is it Leeds or somewhere? Yeah. And then he had to leave. Chelsea needs a backup goalkeeper that would come up and compete with Robert Sanchez. Maybe by so doing, Robert Sanchez will up his game. Maybe by so doing, Robert Sanchez will up his game, because we have Mike Penders, we have Slonina, we have this. You that you're watching this video, can you categorically say that Mike Penders is a good goalkeeper? Can you say Slonina is a good goalkeeper? It means these backup goalkeepers are not even a threat to Sanchez. So Sanchez will be very, very prone to error. Look at Arsenal. Ryan knows that if he messes up, there is still Kepa who can take his shirt. And it doesn't mean that because Kepa is getting old, then he won't get a shirt. Goalkeepers even get better with age. So if I don't know, I don't want to say I don't want to say get Sanchez out of Chelsea, but there are a lot of things that you can do to make the situation better. You can get backup goalkeepers that will make him sit tight. Backup goalkeepers that would how do I put it? That will compete with him. That will make the competition healthy and very, very keen. Or you change the goalkeeper's coach, or you change Sanchez himself and get another goalkeeper. But something has to change. Something has to change. If there is no change, we are not getting anywhere. We're not getting so far, because we would have some good moments and then we'll have short bursts of inconsistencies and errors and all of that. Look at top goalkeepers. You look at their error leading to goal in a whole season, you will find one, two. Go to Sanchez, you find five. We can't. In fact, there are some small errors that goalkeeper makes that does not lead to goal, but you would know that this is not it. It's not it. Like that pass, it was just a nice pass from who was it? From Akiapong to Sanchez. All we needed to do was to retain the position, and I was surprised when Sanchez was just following the ball until he went to corner kick. He made us lose possession. He made us consider the corner, and we were at threat of goal scoring. Do you know what a corner can do? Go and ask us now, who scored about 25 set piece goals last season. We can't keep conceding careless goals like that. If you're still watching this video, don't forget to like this live stream, please, and drop a comment so we can have a decent chat together. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. Um, Let me just talk about my feelings now. Now that um, we've talked about the match, I'm very excited. Alonso is here. At least we get to see some interesting football. He's a manager that has played as a player in the Premier League. He's somebody that wins. He has a very, forget the fact that it didn't go well at Real Madrid. Real Madrid actually sacked him with about 74% win ratio. one of the highest win ratio, and yet he still got sacked. So he's somebody that has a winning mentality, even though he concedes a lot of goal because he's an attacking coach. You can see some eye line today. Even Pep Guardiola plays eye line. Hansi Flick plays eye line. Vincent Company at Bayern Munich plays eye line. Luis Enrique at PSG plays eye line. Eye line is not the problem as long as you can get us over the line. Does that make sense? I'm feeling like a musician now. Eye line is not the problem as long as you can get us over the line. Wow, that's brilliant. So, yeah, Alonso is not a defensive coach, so you might not be seeing a lot of 1-0s and 2-0 wins from him. If you track his Bayern Leverkusen's record, he won the league unbeaten and he won the domestic league and he still got to the final of maybe UEFA Super Cup or something like that. He conceded a lot of goals, but he never lost a game. Even when they are 2 goals down, Xabi Alonso still has the mentality to drive the team to get a win. So Bayer Leverkusen did a lot of comebacks under Xabi Alonso. So expect comebacks from Chelsea. We might be the new kings of comeback. So when we go down, don't be deflated, don't be depressed, because Xabi Alonso is at the helm of affairs, and he will instill and install the right mentality in those players, and we can win. So Bayer Leverkusen won a lot of games coming back from a losing point. They scored a lot of goals, 1-4, 1-5-1, 5-2, but he considered a lot of goals. Even at Real Madrid, despite the fact that he had those defenders, he still considered a lot of goals. So Chelsea fans, I think we should brace up for considering a lot of goals. We will not be chasing Golden Glove with Arsenal. We will not be chasing defensive record. This is not our era of defensive record. So as long as he can get us over the line, tell me, even though the score line was not beautiful, 3-2, but if you watch the game, it was beautiful. And at the end of the day, it's a 3 points that matters, no matter how much you play. I think as a fan, you will prefer, even if you get an ugly win of 1-0, than play a beautiful football and go home with a draw. So we would be having mix of all of these things in football, but I just want to take the win no matter how it comes, even if the last goal comes at the last kick of the game. Did you watch Man City's match? They balled Bournemouth, played well, but they were struggling to get the goal. The 2 goals that gave them the win, that secured their 3 points, came very late. Did you watch Liverpool's game? Dominic Soboslai's penalty that gave Liverpool the 2-2 equalizer came at 90 plus 5. It was basically the last kick of the game, and they got a draw, which is not bad for them. But at this point in Chelsea, I don't want a draw. So no matter how bad the scoreline might be, as long as we win and take all the 3 points, we go with it. We pick up our lessons. We move on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. I'm very impressed with our defenders, even though conceding 2 goals does not look like they did a lot of work, but that's why the scoreline is different from watching the game. Lacroix was solid, and I'm glad Chelsea did not sell Akeapong, because Chelsea is very fast to selling. Akeapong was solid. He's a very young defender. I think he's about 19, around those Pau Kubasi's age. And he was still doing good, so he can actually develop, watch other experience center backs, and then add to his game and then develop. But he was good today. Lacroix was good today. Levi Kowi was a bit shaky. The red card and the near miss. Sorry, that's a red card. If this was not a live video, I would have cut it off. It's a yellow card, not a red card. Pardon me. So he got the yellow card, got another yellow card. He didn't get another yellow card. I think I need to drink water now. He got a yellow card and narrowly missed the second yellow. That's what I wanted to say. He narrowly missed the second yellow, and I think that kinds of like got into his head, affected his game a bit. But at the end of the day, we are all human beings. You know, we're not robots. So that's just how I found the game. It's been 35 minutes of streaming, and hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching this video after the live stream, because obviously I'm going to publish it on my channel, whenever you find this video, let me know your thoughts and how you actually saw the match and what you expect from Sabi Alonso going forward. This is Chelsea's first game week in 2026-2027 season. The season is a very long one, very long one. Some days you play beautifully, some days you play badly, some days you play ugly. So it's going to be a roller coaster, a mix of the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I would just say enjoy the win whenever you can grab it. Whenever you get a 3 point, just grab it. Some days football is very funny. Some days when you get the 1 point, it's very, very important. You grab it and grab the lessons and move on. Because we are doing fine, we got 3 points now, does not mean we've arrived. There's still a lot of work to do. The Sanchez error, some midfield. Our midfield needs stability. The core of the midfield is not there. We don't know if Enzo Fernandez is leaving or not, but you can tell that the Enzo Fernandez that came on at 65 minutes, that played today, is not the real Enzo Fernandez. This is like a shadow of himself. Come to think of it, he's in the middle of transfer saga, whether he wants to go to Man City, whether he wants to remain, if they're going to match his price or something. So it's expected that happens like that. Caicedo did not play, he's injured. But if you take away all of that, we've got another option, Jordan Henderson, but he's also injured. If you followed England at the World Cup, he broke his arm while they were celebrating, so he's not back yet. So in that midfield, we don't have a lot of options. We already sold Andre Santos, and that's why he played midfield of Reece James and Romeo Lavia today. Lavia was not bad, but it can be better because at some point Fulham took over the midfield. Then there is still issues of these wing backs. When it made the substitution, when Pedro Neto came on, this is not to bring Pedro Neto down. When Pedro Neto came on, I didn't really feel the game anymore. When Chavaria also came on, I didn't feel the game. In fact, as a matter of fact, there was a long pass sent to Pep Chavaria, and he was struggling to trap the ball. But I know that these players will get better with time. So we're just analyzing our thoughts based on what we watch. It's too early to conclude, but this is not the best we can be. So that will bring us to the end of this live stream, end of this video. Thank you for sticking with me so far. Thank you for not finding me too boring. I'm not a professional pundit, but thank you guys for sticking around and watching this video. And you will see me again next time on this channel. Don't forget to like and to subscribe. Drink a bottle of water before you go to bed. Thank you, and God bless you.